Christmas. My name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and this is the Christmas Treats book tag. Merry Christmas! Hello my darlings, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing the Christmas Treats book tag, and I am so excited. I was tagged by the Creepy Geek back last year and put it on my schedule ready to film for this Christmas day. And I'm so excited. So Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and I hope that everyone is having a wonderful, safe and relaxed holiday period. So my heart goes to anyone that's working in retail and still operational. I am on 2 weeks leave. It is glorious, and thank you to my Patreons who have like made a little mini Christmas gift in their presents, and it's just This tag was originally created by Becca Fowl, and like I said, Jem from the Creepy Geek tagged me last year, so I put it on my calendar to make sure I did it for this year. I haven't actually thought of anyone who I'm going to tag, so they'll be linked down below. For the people that I do tag, feel free to put this on your schedule for next year, because when I'm posting this it is Christmas Day for Australians, but if you're US, if you have time to throw this together. But the people that I'll be tagged are linked down in the description box. Let's dive into the questions. I've got my bags of books, and question number 1 is Mince Pies, a book with a great cover but even better feeling. And for that I have Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. This is one of Erin from Shiver and Shelves' favourite books, and the cover is iconic, but also it's not inaccurate, because in this, there is a lady who's looking after 2 kids who spontaneously combust. It's accurate, but it's also very eye-catching. And then the content of this is just so amazing. Looking at Lillian and Madison's relationship, the relationship with the kids, just it's a really beautiful dynamic, and I think it explores so many different topics so exceptionally well. And it was one of those that I was nervous to go into. I thought I was going to really enjoy it because Erin's taste in books is impeccable, but I really ended up falling in love with the characters on a way that I wasn't prepared for, and it just really hits in the feels and is very beautiful. Question number 2 is Sugar Cookies, something sweet, a cozy or cute book. And for that I'm going Of the Wild by E. Wamheim, and I don't have a physical copy of this, but this was such a beautifully cozy book. The found family vibes in this is absolutely beautiful. So Eris steals unwanted children from their homes and raises them in the forest, and just the magic and the beauty of this was so wonderful and so very heartfelt. It really hits you in the feelings, but it is also a very cozy book. We're looking at the dynamics of the forest as well as the relationships with the kids and their growth, and Eris's own sense of self as well, and it was just absolutely beautiful. It is one that I think in the moment you know that it's a beautiful book and it's so cozy and it's like a warm hug, but as you think on it later after reading it, it has this really profound, just wonderful, heart-nestling feeling to it. So I'm so thankful to Ren from the Reading Ren for providing this as a recommendation, or they said I'm reading this, everyone join in, sort of thing. So that's how I stumbled across it, and I'm very thankful for that because it was so cute and cozy. Question number 3 is Christmas Pudding, Alcohol, an adult book, and for that one I've gone with The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. So The Thursday Murder Club is following a group of retirees in their retirement village and just catching up once a week to investigate unsolved murders, and then a mystery arrives on their doorstep. So I definitely think that teenagers could enjoy this, but it is pitched for adults with the jokes, the comedic timing of this is absolutely beautiful. Like, there are some things that Richard is going, this isn't PC, but this is how old people are, and you're like, yeah. I don't know if teens would view that in the same lens if they haven't been exposed to that sort of environment before, whereas for me, I'm piercing myself laughing because I can definitely see the older people in my life acting exactly like this, except for Elizabeth. I do not know an Elizabeth. But it is such a fun adult book. It is a romp of a good time, and it really is these unorthodox friend group just solving a murder, and I absolutely adore it. It is so much fun, but I definitely think it's one that is pitched for adults, designed for adults, and just a really fun time. Number 4 is Gingerbread, a book with spice. And I hate myself for this with a fiery passion, but I'm going with Jack by Layla Faye. If you know, you know. And this is a Halloween, so I probably could have found a gingerbread smart book, but instead I'm going with a pumpkin smart book, and it is spicy. There is a lot of sexy steamy scenes. It is kind of disconcerting with the way that they describe him, and I've tainted a particular drink for so many people and continue just to spread that in the Christmas spirit. So yeah, it contains a whole lot of spice on so many different levels, and I shouldn't be as entertained as I am by this, but I don't necessarily recommend this book, but it fits the prompt to the T. I'm gonna go die in a corner now. So on a much lighter note, number 5 is the Yule Log Tradition, a book you like to reread. And honestly, I think you'll know what's gonna come out of this bag, because this is the only book I reread. Matilda by Roald Dahl. I reread first books in series, the ones that I read when I was a teenager and wanted to continue on with the series, and since then I have not reread a book in a year, except for Matilda. This is my comfort read. This is the opposite, the antithesis of Jack. It is a beautiful, delightful read that is zero spice. It's for children. It is hilarious. I adore it. And really, Matilda is just one of those books that I don't feel the need to explain, but if you're a reader and you adore seeing the power of reading and of books, of imagination and fortitude, then Matilda is one that I definitely recommend, because it holds a special place in my heart, because it literally is the only book I will reread every single year without fail and have a glorious time. On to the big bag. Number 6 is Candy Cane, Decorative, a book with a beautiful cover. And I'm going with Psyche by Kate Forsyth. This is the ARC, but I don't think the finished cover is far from this design. I just think this display is absolutely beautiful. So we're following the story of Psyche, and the way that Kate Forsyth wove the mythology into this and just made such a beautiful and compelling story that matches the cover, just absolutely amazing. I have not picked up anything else by them prior or after, unfortunately, but they have definitely become on my radar to pick up more from them, because this was just exceptionally done. And this cover, I stopped picking up proofs from Ash's work because I just wasn't getting to them, but when I saw this, I saw that it was based off mythology. I was like, well, here we go. And then I actually read it. Who am I? And really enjoyed it. The beauty of this cover, just, oh, I love it. And because there's slightly darker butterflies up in here as well, so it's all just intricately designed. Number 7 is Panettone. I don't think I've ever had that, but that's fine. Fruity, an LGBT book. And I'm going with another one of my favorites, The Library of the Unwritten by AJ Hackworth. It was funny, I was talking on the Whodunit Discord with Bert, just going, I have too much gay, I can't decide what gay. This is a wonderful, glorious problem to have. And I just said I want to talk about this book because honestly, it is one of my most favorite representations of a pansexual character that I've read. And not just pansexual though, there is so many different LGBT characters in this, and it's so organic, it feels so natural. It is just exceptionally done. And I saw that the Library of the Unwritten got a little bit of shade earlier this year for a particular collab that people were doing and reading creators' favorite book. And yeah, not many people enjoyed this, but I adore this series, and I loved the LGBT rap in this, especially with the pansexuality. Just, I'm pretty sure I've got it tabbed, but there was a particular quote of it's like, so you like girls? I like interesting people. Everyone has their charms. The details never mattered much to me. So you're pansexual. Is that the term now? And I love that. The way that sentence of I love interesting people just sat in my soul was just beautiful. I loved it so much. It just, yes. So, and there's a male romance in here. It is very queer, and I adore this. On a more frightening note, we have Trifle, a book with layers. A book that falls in more than one genre. And hello! Earthlings by Psyche. This is horror, it is fiction, it's speculative, it's potentially sci-fi. It is a fucking trip. And oh Lord in heaven help me, brace your seats because this is a goddamn ride. The commentary, exceptional, marvelous. The level of disturbed, absolutely astronomical. I read the end of this twice. For those that have read the ending, twice. It didn't get better the second time. But as Ash describes it, this fulfills the 3 W's. It's exceptionally well written, but what the fuck? And it is this conglomerate of experiences, and it's hard to read. It is really, really fucking hard to read. There is content warnings coming out the fucking wazoo. Not even for the ending. There's other shit that's potentially more more concerning, but less just anyway. It's a ride. I really adored it, but I was horrified the entire time. And I think if you want a fucked up book, this is the perfect place to go for it, because the way that the commentary is done is so really beautifully woven, and you keep thinking on it because it sits with you in a very disturbing way. And so it's like, I can't stop thinking about it. That's why I'm mentioning it again. I needed to find a way to fit this on, and I need more people to suffer and feel my pain, because it hurt a lot. But it's an exceptionally well written book that spans so many genres, so many ideas, and so many triggers. Number 9 is Buck's Fizz, a bubbly book, so a lighthearted book. And for that, I'm going with Detective Beans, The Case of the Missing Hat by Lee Chan. I read this at Ash's work earlier in the year and fell in love. It is the most beautiful, lightheartedest thing that I have ever read. It is so beautiful. It just, Detective Beans loses his hat. And it goes from there. The way that Detective Bean interacts with all the different characters, he asks about his hat, the journey that his hat goes on. It is so hilarious and just so light and fluffy and beautiful and a cleansing for the soul, especially after this. I love how I've actually managed to time these books so intricately. It's great. But yes, it is just one of those that is a lighthearted, feel-good book that anyone can read. It is a graphic novel as well, so the illustrations, just beautiful. It is so wholesome and wonderful, and it just gives me a happy vibe every time I think of it. Then the last prompt is Shortbread, chunky, a thick book. Whilst I have many chunky books, the one that I decided to go with is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, because look at this brick. It's so fluffy though. I am of the opinion that it didn't need to be as long as it did, but I'm not mad that it is. This is a absolute chonker of a book, and there is so much that happens in this. It is very much, for me, a vibe sort of book, which can be very difficult if you need more than vibes. There is the plot that is following Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell and the way that they approach magic in 1806, and it's basically their battle and how that battle and the lengths that they go to creates so much tension in these two places as well as with themselves. It is a very well written book and I very much enjoyed it, but the chonk is chonky and it is an intimidating read, but very, very worth it if you can get through it. I think this is one of my most eclectic book stacks I have had in a very long time. So this plus Jack, Detective Beans, and Of the Wild are my answers for the Christmas Treats book tag. And oh my god, this is a stack. So thank you, Jem, once again for tagging me in this. It was so fun coming up with these answers, and I really think I've gone well with this. A lot of book tags, I feel like I fall into the habit of just picking the same books. And whilst there are some repeat offenders, I think I really branched out and thought of some other ones that I'm really proud of. So let me know in the comments, what's your mince pie? A book with a great cover but an even better feeling, because I'd love to know what covers are out there, and then to match the inside or it be even better. It's just, yes, we love that. So feel free to let me know in the comments your answer to the mince pies question, or any thoughts or answers to any other questions that popped up in your mind while we were traveling along this video. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you on my next video. Bye!